Hello, my name is Nancy, and I am the owner of Astrology and Angel Mediums, as well as the practitioner behind everything. So, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an intro video as far as like who I am and why I started all of this and a little bit of my story. But I also realized that I don't really feel comfortable being in front of the camera, which is why I've kind of chosen to just show my hands or little side clips of what I'm doing versus like me in and of itself. So I hope that this works. I'm not sure how this will translate over on YouTube, as I'm sure that more people like to kind of see who they're connecting with and what's going on versus like little clips of things and maybe voiceovers. So I started all of this kind of spiritual stuff when I was about 10. I got really into astrology. I call it my gateway drug. And it's been such a beautiful journey rediscovering myself and who I am. I got into tarot when I was about 14 and really just dove into all of the occult, metaphysical, esoteric kind of things. Being Mexican, I have always had a strong connection to La Virgen de Guadalupe or Mother Mary, as well as Santa Muerte. So I have chosen to become a devotee to Santa Muerte and also work with other deities such as Hecate and Aphrodite for various reasons. And I just really enjoy having that kind of energy in my home and in my space. Now, because astrology was my first love, I have always really leaned into the study of astrology. And it is something that I have just enjoyed so much over the years. And it's something that I love to teach. It's something that I love to utilize in my day to day life. It's something that has really opened me up to all of these other different ways of being and things that I have taken an interest in. Tarot is what I would like to call maybe my second love. It took me many years to really feel comfortable with tarot and to feel like it was something that I was adept at enough to be able to share and do for others. So when I first started, I literally would not do any readings for anybody. I just would do readings for myself and journal and things of that nature until I felt comfortable enough to kind of do readings for friends and family as they allowed me to. In about 2010, I decided that I wanted to kind of expand on some of my gifts. I had a lot of different things happening in my life. Back in 2007, I had what I would like to call a spiritual awakening because of a dark night of the soul. And it just really solidified my desire, my need, my curiosity for the occult, for the metaphysical, for the esoteric, for the new age, whatever you want to call it. It all really allowed me to grow and realize there was so much that I didn't know. And in that, I have been able to kind of transform my current life as well as discover so many different gifts within myself. Things that maybe I never really trusted, or things that I was kind of confused about, or felt like I never really had too much guidance about it. I was raised very strict Roman Catholic, and I know for me personally, it took me a long time to have a sense of belief and trust in my old kind of upbringing and the things that I experienced in that upbringing. I know that it's challenging for a lot of people to understand what religious trauma can do to you and how it may make you swing completely the opposite way, which I considered myself atheist for quite a few years. And then around the age of like 23, 24, I decided I was more agnostic and wanted to acknowledge that there was something bigger outside of myself, out in the universe, that maybe had something to do with the things that were going on in my life and things that I had experienced. So in 2007, when I had my whole dark night of the soul, I felt like I was under spiritual attack, psychic attack, whatever you want to call it. I ended up going and seeing a psychic who was very talented, but unfortunately was also somebody that saw an opportunity in my fear and in my inexperience, and decided to financially take advantage of my fear and my inexperience. And the most wonderful thing that I've taken away from that experience was that I was capable of doing the same things. And I had the ability to be able to do this as well, and to maybe help others find their own gifts and find who they are through this aspect of life, and to find a way to connect back to what they believe in and to discover something, a different path, so to speak. It's not a path that anyone else has taken. It's not that. I'm not saying that I'm the first or the last, but it is something that has made me feel much more connected to the universe, to source, to God, whatever it is that you want to call it. It has helped me feel so much more connected to myself, to my ancestors, to my passed on loved ones, to just life in general. And so I wanted other people to also have that experience. So in 2009, now that I kind of segued all the way back, that's when I really wanted to discover more about myself, because at the time I felt like my gifts were almost crippling I was starting to have so much anxiety and doubting what I was seeing. I thought, again, I was having some sort of like spiritual mental breakdown, so to speak. And I was actually expecting my second child at the time. So in 2010, I decided to kind of pursue somebody that would be able to kind of assist me, a mentor, so to speak. And I found someone that lived very close to me that was doing something that I had never really thought of or connected to, and it was angel channeling. So it was something that really opened up my eyes. It allowed me to kind of take the reins in my gifts, take the reins in my personal journey, so to speak, or on my personal journey to really discover what I was capable of, and really learning to trust myself a little bit more when it comes to this part of myself. Because if you are someone who is clairaudient, it's hard to know when that is something that is within you. And intuition can just feel so subtle at times that it can be very confusing when you're not sure what it's supposed to sound like or what you're supposed to do with it. And so in 2010, I decided to really pursue understanding this a little bit more, to really understand myself and what it meant for me in my life to have these gifts and what I could do with it. In 2012, I decided to kind of take myself online, but to remain anonymous because I was afraid of how it would be received. I had always felt very much like the black sheep within my family and within my culture, because there is a lot of fear and disconnection from folk magic, or even just ethnically relatable magic, I guess I could say. And so there was a little bit of this like hesitation within myself to kind of share everything that I've learned, the things that I was curious about, the questions that I had. And so in that, I was able to be myself online in a way that felt very safe for me. And I was able to share all of the things I was interested in, like learning about crystals, using pendulums, using oracle cards, using tarot, using astrology, using moon phases, and things of that nature, and using candle magic, and so on and so forth. So it slowly began to grow. In 2014, I decided to kind of take everything onto Instagram, and that is where everything really got very expansive, I guess would be a nice word of putting it. It's, for whatever reason, things just really translated well onto the app there. And I was able to feel more confident with being a little bit more of myself and sharing a little bit more of myself on that platform and within that space. So I started offering actual sessions with clients and readings after spending several years. From about 2010 until about 2014, I would only do readings for free. And in 2014, I decided, okay, I deserve to be compensated for what I'm doing, for my experience, for how I'm doing things, what I'm tuning into. Now, one of the biggest things that really has connected for me was something called automatic writing. As someone that has mediumship skills and has always felt like that connection to the other side, it was a way for me to be able to tune in and tune out all of the external noise or all of the extra things that used to make me feel like something was wrong with my brain. In 2016 or so, I decided to really start taking it a lot more serious with all of my gifts and wanting to teach and wanting to share with others. I opened up mentorship groups. I opened up different spaces to be able to share and connect with people all over the world that also felt like they had some similarities with my story or with the things that I had kind of gone through or what I had experienced. And it was just such a mind-opening experience, I guess, because it allowed me to not feel so alone. Because sometimes in our day-to-day lives, we may not always find people that understand us or see us for where we're at. And at the time, I was like in my 30s, so I was feeling very limited as far as like the resources available to me and the people that I could connect with. And there's always been a little bit of like a financial barrier, I feel like, and especially for other women of color, that they feel, like there's always like that, like you can't go further because you don't have thousands of dollars to throw at a mentorship. So I wanted to offer a lot of things for free, which is why I would do intuition tests and I would do like pick a card readings and all of these different things and educational posts and talking about different things and numerology and astrology and magic and intention setting and manifestation. I wanted to really share everything that I was doing and what I was learning and what I had seen in my life because I wanted other people to have that easily accessible to them. Now, I'm not saying that I am the end all, be all, know all of any of these esoteric things. I wanted to kind of bring everything down to an understandable level. And I don't know if it's like my numerology because I'm a, life path 33 /6, where I feel like I have to constantly be in like teacher mode and trying to help other people discover their own magic, their own kind of sense of who they are and what they have going on. So I know that several years ago, I tried to get on YouTube and then I felt very uncomfortable being on camera. It's not that I felt like something is so different with me that other people won't receive that. But I just feel like how I look is not the message for anything. And I am very aware that there's people out there that do very well in front of a camera, but I just feel very awkward and very uncomfortable. So it's not something that I will probably be posting on YouTube anytime soon. And if you've ever seen a video of me, you'll know how awkward I can be. I'm in my 40s. I'm trying to figure out what that feels like. But again, it's like, while I may have grown up online, I have never had to be in front of the image or in front of the anything, basically. So here I am. I'm just trying to kind of show up and tell a little bit of my story and why I wanted to go online and what my intention is with what I'm doing and why I share certain things or, why I do my videos a certain way. Now, do I know it would probably be a little bit more engaging if you guys could see me? Maybe. But again, I'm just not 100% there. I'm not 100% comfortable yet. I hope that in time I do get that way. But I just want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for commenting. I really hope that you enjoy the things that I'm sharing and that it becomes a part of you discovering your magic within yourself. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, for being here with me, for just giving this little old lady an outlet to kind of share all of these different things that she's learned and that she's discovered. And as I like to say, remain curious in life, remain active in your discovery of what speaks to you, as well as what you feel you need in your life. And I know in this space, because of the popularization of it, there is a lot of misinformation. There may be a lot of fear. There may be a lot of things out there that make you question, if you've been doing things the right way. And there can also be a lot of comparison. But I'm here to say, as someone that's been doing this online actively since like 2012, that just be yourself and allow yourself the space to change, to grow, to shift, to learn something new, to do something different, and to not feel like everything has to be so rooted and consistent and steady all of the time. There's years where I have really dove into certain things and then decided, you know what, that's not really for me any longer. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no competition, so to speak. And I don't want anyone to ever feel like what they're doing is not the best thing out there or the right thing. Just really take your time, figure out what works for you, and show up as authentically as you possibly can in that moment. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of random little video, but please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices and be a little bit kinder to one another out there. We tend to forget that along the way. Have a good one.